Welcome, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us today for the 27th presentation in our Launch and Learn webinar series on current and diverse topics. Today is a special treat. We have Professor Futurist In Residence, Mr. Travis Cloyd, presenting on The Future is Now, How to Make Technology Advancements Work for You. My name is Jorge Sumaeta, and I'm the Senior Director of Academic Planning and Accountability, Continuing Education, and Dual Enrollment at FIU. Before we begin today's webinar, I would like to briefly go over a few points in order to make this event more inclusive and accessible for all attendees. This webinar is being recorded and will be available within 48 hours on our FIU Continuing Education website. Please keep in mind that your microphones are muted to facilitate the smooth transition flow of this presentation. The chat room, located at the bottom of the screen, is available and can be used. However, we encourage you to use the Q&A tool throughout the presentation to pose your questions to the presenter. Once the webinar is ended, a message will pop up thanking you for your participation and asking you to please complete a brief survey. Your feedback is very important to us. I am particularly excited about today's presenter. It is an honor and a privilege to have Mr. Travis Cloyd presented today on The Future is Now, How to Make Technology Advancements Work for You. Travis Cloyd is an award-winning producer and visionary tech entrepreneur, listed as Forbes Next 1000 honoree 2021. He is a member of the Producers Guild of America and also the CEO of Worldwide XR based in Los Angeles, California, producing experiences, films, and branded campaigns based on celebrity digital rights. As FIU inaugural Futurist In Residence, Travis will systematically explore predictions and possibilities of emerging technologies on current and future virtual learning environments. Leveraging his industry expertise and professional relationships, Travis will work across the university to ignite strategic partnerships, develop and test immersive and interactive technologies, and expand the university's teaching, learning, and research opportunities. One of the projects Travis will be coordinating is the creation of the Institute for Immersive Interactive Learning that will form public-private partnerships to facilitate the development of the next generation of virtual learners. He is also the director of iStar, Immersive Studio for Altered Reality at FIU. He's currently developing several experiences that range from a multi-picture deal featuring James Dean's virtual human 65 years after his last film to a multi-million-dollar photorealistic MVP VR experience with Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes. You can tell that I'm very excited about hearing his presentation because all this apply not only to higher ed, to the higher ed industry, to education, but to all of us across our economy. Without further ado, please, let's welcome Professor Futurist in Residence, Mr. Travis Cloyd. Travis?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me here today, Jorge. Thank you. You guys have an incredible team. Everybody at FIU's continuing education, and I'm so honored to be here. And thank you guys, everybody, for having your lunch with me today. Hopefully you're going to be able to learn. We are going to power through a lot of incredible information during the course of this luncheon. So again, thank you guys for joining me, and let's get started on this journey. Now, Jorge, thank you again for the great intro, but usually I have somebody do my intros. And she's a little disappointed that you jumped in and we're doing this. And I said, hey, you know what? I'll have you do my intro. So I want to let Bella do a quick intro for me.
I'm Bella, a digital Kiwi, from Soul Machines in New Zealand, and I'm excited to introduce today's moderator, Travis Cloyd.
Well, thank you, Bella. That was great. Not as good as Jorge. He's much better than you. But thank you, Bella, for jumping in and kicking things off. So again, the future is now, right? How to make technology advancements work for you. Everybody's a little different. You know, you can see right here, you could probably find, where's Waldo? There he is, right there on the right. And you know what? There's a few more in here. There's one down below in the boat. There's one in the desert on the left, in the guy's hands on the left, and up in the trees. There's 5 of me in there. But look, everybody's different. Everybody has a unique way of making technology advancements work for them. And for me, it's all about exploring. I'm an explorer. I love to be able to work with different companies, learn what they're doing, what they're trying to achieve, how I can apply it to my life, my business, how I can apply it to the university, faculty, and different programs that we have at FIU. And like any great exploration, you have to think about, who are the explorers? Where are we going, and why are we seeking this new frontier? It's the question that every explorer has had during the course of time. And you guys today are the explorers. Hey, how's it going? There's a science guy on the left and a couple deans. Hey guys. And today, you know what? We're on the future. We're on the Santa Futurista. And today you're going to board the ship, and we are going to go on a journey into the future, and we are going to be exploring together. And I'm also an explorer. I'm a fellow explorer. And I'm a captain today. I get a chance to show you my life and take you on a journey through the things that I've been able to do. And I wear a lot of hats, and I work with a lot of incredible people. I try to align myself with people that are going to help me, help my businesses, help our university achieve the things that we want to achieve. And so I wear a lot of hats. A member of the Producers Guild of America, where I'm on the New Media Council. I'm the global ambassador in entertainment for the Global Blockchain Business Council. I'm very honored for the honoree that I just received from Forbes. And all my great relations that I have with FIU. Futurist In Residence, director of iStar for the Immersive Studio for Altered Reality. I'm blessed and very thankful for the people that I work with at FIU. It inspires me every single day. So I'm your captain, I'm your fellow explorer, and I look forward to this journey. So as we go off on this journey, we don't need to dream about life on Mars. We're going beyond this beautiful Earth. Today we will explore virtual life still left on this planet, exploring new layers, new worlds we can't even see, or can we? The biggest companies know what I'm talking about. And today you guys are going to get the inside scoop. And there's been some major significant changes in how we live and work because of the times. Cloud computing and connectivity has changed. 5G, artificial intelligence and automation, interactive and immersive technologies. And you know what? All of these things can be applied to everything we do in all verticals of life, in all verticals of business. So I hope each and every one of you guys today during your lunch can find something unique in this presentation that you can apply to what you're trying to achieve. And that's the point of exploring. And every year mobile usage continues to increase. We already have unlimited data plans. As you can remember, we remember what it was like to share text messages and pictures and videos. But what about shared experiences? Those are much bigger files. Okay, and we may not live to see this, obviously, but in the year 2245, half of the Earth's mass will consist of data. And data is already the world's biggest commodity, more than oil and gas. AI and the Internet of All Things applications will become universal across all platforms. Data from these devices will deliver experiential content like we've never seen before. This is when engagement becomes more powerful than viewing. And you know what? Maybe that's already happened. A global digital world. It applies to every business, every vertical, from architecture, gaming, film and TV, automotive, broadcast, live events, training, simulation, manufacturing, advertising. It applies to everything. And let's talk about design tools, for an example. There's so many incredible design tools that are out there. This is just a small list. I personally love things like Adobe XD and Figma. But you know what? There's lots of different solutions that exist. And I'm going to flip through these slides so fast today. And the truth about me is I have a lot of these information and relationships that if you guys ever see anybody you want to work with, please send me an email. I'm very organized. I could provide you contact information for any of these companies. But the bottom line, there's a lot of exploring. If you want to facilitate any solution within time management, you got Google Calendar, you got Buffer, you've got so many different solutions. Upkeep, Setmore. You got to be able to explore all these great solutions. Zoom AI. And you know, Zoom AI has now been acquired by Roblox since I've put this in this presentation. And there's different team communication tools, Connect Team, Convo, Fleet, Flock, Fuse, Trello, Troop, Twist, WhatsApp, right? There's so many different solutions and so many incredible tools that are out there today. And my job is to explore these solutions because each and every one of us has our own needs, own desires. And this time is so incredible that there's so many different solutions for us to choose from. If it's a focus on remote work, you have Zoom, Google Drive, Slack, GoToMeeting, Dropbox. These are tools you guys know about, but there's a lot of other tools, smaller companies that are not as big as the big companies looking for you to reach out to them. Different solutions, different pricing, different types of payment solutions, PayPal, Shopify, WePay, Amazon, Square. So many different solutions that exist today. It's endless. And you know what? There's so many other verticals I can get into. Human resources, travel and leisure, productivity, writing, social media management, inventory management, endless categories and thousands of incredible technologies that we can all explore. And most all breakthroughs weren't created during this crisis. They were just found and adopted by people like us. The crisis accelerated our desire to explore. But can you imagine what innovations are being built right now as we speak? I bet you there's some 10-year-old kid out there that is inventing the next billion-dollar company. He doesn't even know it. And that's what's so incredible about moments like this, times like this. And there's so many incredible trends. I am exploring and learning every day from different things within artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, XR like augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, robotics engineering, remote automated systems, big data and future analytics, BCI, brain computing interface technology, gaming and 3D visualization, spatial and quantum computing, adaptive optics and hardware for the future, smart workplaces and remote collaboration, new UI and UX designing for heads-up technology, digital currencies like blockchain and commerce, autonomous cars, drones and future transportation, smart housing, green technology and 3D printing, digital humans, voice assistants, virtual twins, other current and future market trends like NFTs that are hot right now, non-fungible tokens, crypto art, and 6G and beyond, right? I mean, there's some incredible trends for us to explore. And so I want to focus on one, right? Because I can't get into every single one of these. The continued education team is going to have to book me every single week. We're going to have to be doing shows and specials if we're going to cover these trends. So let's focus on one. I want to show you how I explore. Let's focus on XR, extended reality, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality. These are three different technologies, completely different. People confuse them all the time, but they're three different types of technologies. Augmented reality, having the ability to display computer-generated results on your mobile devices in any environment. Virtual reality, we all know what that is. Virtual worlds, being able to go in different times and places, explore these new realms. In mixed reality, the ability for us to have augmented images that we can reach out and touch and interact with. Mixed reality. Three different types of technologies, three different types of hardware, and we'll get into that. And what do we do? How do we explore? You have to first think about what is the experience that we want somebody to have. It's all about the experience. What type of experience? Are we going to use headsets that are tethered or standalone? Hopefully standalone. Do you want the headset to be focused on mixed reality, virtual reality, or handheld? What is the component? Is it focused on hardware, software, services? How are we going to deliver it to the market? How is it going to be distributed? Is it a B2B product? Is it a B2C product? Who are our end users? Are we focused on driving technology to the media and entertainment sector, healthcare, manufacturing, industrial, retail and e-commerce, transportation? Where are we going to distribute this content? What locations? Is it hyper-local, regional markets like Miami versus LA? Are we attacking new places, different countries? You have to think about the experience and how you're going to distribute it to the world. And you know what? There's so many incredible AR and VR companies out there. So many that you can't even see their logos. And based on our desire, based on what we need, there's different solutions out there. If we're focused on location-based technology, sports, productivity, medical, fitness, lifestyle, advertising, education, there are endless amounts of AR and VR and XR companies that are in all these different verticals. And you know what? There's a lot of companies that are already exploring, fellow explorers that are in the AR space, for example. Big companies that are just like you. They don't have the answers. They're exploring and learning as they go. Everybody is. IKEA, Lowe's, Facebook, Microsoft. They're testing and exploring every single day, fellow explorers. And we have to think about what is the growth of a market when we're thinking about new technology and how to explore it, right? You can see right here in the bottom left, VR hardware. VR hardware is not doing too hot right now, but AR hardware is doing fantastic. Why? Because of the digital divide. People can't keep up. I can't keep up. I have all the hardware. I can't keep up with all the unique hardware that's being offered by these companies. Sometimes you just want to sit back on the sidelines and wait for the next iteration. But augmented reality, you don't have to have a headset. You could use your mobile device. Anybody can use augmented reality on their iPhone or their Android. And because of that, it makes it easier to engage in augmented reality because you don't have to have external hardware. Kids in schools, anybody can tap into an augmented reality solution. So I want to go back to the future. Let's go back into my life, right? Because you're exploring with me today and you guys have to understand who am I and what are the things that I've done. It's going to be a fun lunch. And so I don't want to go back to the beginning of my time and go back too far. And I don't want to talk about everything. I just want to talk about XR. And the first time I started to explore XR, the first time I started to get into VR and AR and MR, 10 years ago in 2011, it just hit me. I found out that the world was not flat 2D, that we can live in a 3D world. Not only is the world 3D, there's more, but real-time 3D was the future. And when was this happening? So I went on my journey. Okay, so jump in the car and let's go on this journey back into the future. I was in India 10 years ago, meeting in Mumbai. I was doing a ton of film marketing, big studio marketing campaigns. And I went there to go visit with my teams to figure out how we can facilitate new digital marketing campaigns, leveraging Google ads and Facebook ads and driving adoption to Google Play and iOS and trying to fill people into theater seats, which is different now. But I had some really incredible teams in India. And while I was there, I had a chance to explore mixed reality for the very first time 10 years ago. This company put on this headset and I was thrown into a kitchen with a controller and I had the ability to move products in different cabinets. And then they showed me augmented reality for me to be able to display a home and spin it around in different sizes and minimize it and maximize it and explore it as if it was right here in front of me. I was hooked. I signed the deal on the spot. There I am signing the deal. And how do I have these photos? They had some production crew following us around. So if anybody's looking for old BTS content from 2011, hit me up after this webinar. We could talk about it. because nobody ever picked up the show. I wasn't TV material. But you know what? Didn't matter, because this was unbelievable technology and I was so thrilled to sign this deal. But now I needed to apply it. And I was working on this big animated feature, and they had 3D assets of the animated characters. And I thought, wait a minute, we can take the 3D asset of Toto and we can create an AR-based game. But we weren't even calling it AR. We created an application where you can interact with Toto the same way you would a real dog, using camera gesture control and gyro sensing to bring Toto to life. We allowed the app, you could upload music into the app, and you can check the beats and select songs and create custom moves for players to dance to. And when the player hits the target, they collect points and the difficulty increases. You can play fetch, emulate the natural feel of the game, and play with Toto. And you can also check the weather. You could base it on GPS. So if it's raining or snowing, wherever you're located, it was raining and snowing inside the experience. And then we had to distribute it on iOS, iPad, and iPod, because those were the solutions that existed back then. But I was exploring. There was no way for us to learn what we were doing. We had an animated asset. We had a production company that was looking at trying to generate new revenue outside of the film. And I had the ability to explore. And then all of a sudden, news hit the fan. And you can see me down at the bottom left, peeking over the ledge there. Facebook acquires Oculus for $2 billion. And fast forward, we're in 2014. And again, one of those moments, I couldn't believe it, a new way of storytelling. You don't have to sit there and watch content, you can be in content. You don't have to watch a screen, you can live in the screen. The canvas isn't rectangular, it's spherical. I couldn't believe it. An incredible tool. And so then you have to do what everybody has to do. You have to align yourself with people that know the things that you want to know. Because sometimes it's not what you know, it's knowing the people that know what you want to know. And here's a picture of me and Ted Shilovitz, who's one of my idols and mentors. The futurist that he was the futurist at Fox. Now he's the futurist at Viacom CBS. Facilitates Paramount and incredible new innovations. And we wanted to shoot virtual reality. There was no VR camera. We had to create our own VR cameras. Here's a picture of our 8-camera Blackmagic rig that we created. And we had to build our own stitching software. And I saw it. I had a chance to see what it was like to create content. Because we've been forced to look down at screens, and all screens are shaped in the same way. They're all passive, they're all rectangular. We all just sit back and watch. Not a lot of engagement. You guys can't engage with me. I'm trying to be engaging so you can have as much engagement on a passive experience like this on Zoom. But that's not true engagement. You just watch and view, click and like. And movies have been the same for 100 years. Books have been the same for thousands of years. We've been telling stories since the caveman days, the early explorers. But this is a whole new realm. This is a whole new way of life, a new way of content engagement in experiential media. This is a new way of storytelling. So I went back to India and I had a chance to meet Mr. Thakkar right here, one of the vice presidents of one of the biggest companies in Asia, the biggest company in India, Reliance. And most recently, Reliance has been in the news here because Facebook and Google have both invested over $5 billion each into this company just in the last few months, recently. And back then, they were launching this new brand called Jio, which is the Hindi word for life, this massive platform. And the vice president of Reliance introduces me to the owner of Reliance, the #1 richest man in India, #5 in the world. And he happens to have the world's most expensive home. That's it on the left, a $1.3 billion home in Mumbai, the world's most expensive home. And I had a chance to meet with him. I was so honored. A chance to meet with his wife, Nita, and his mother, and his son, Akash. And I had the opportunity to work with one of the biggest companies in the world, Here I am exploring VR with Mukesh Ambani and his son, and Shah Rukh Khan, a very famous actor. They call him King Khan. It's one of the biggest actors in the world, in the middle there. And I had to put together a team, and we had to go to India and live in India and dig deep into creating the launch of 4G application for Reliance Jio and doing live streaming virtual reality. And here's us working. There's a picture of me and Mukesh Ambani in the middle. I'm putting VR on his head for the first time. He's exploring it. And you can see our camera on the bottom left. We're doing live stream. And from there, we were done. And now I got an opportunity to go work with NASCAR. My India trip was finished. We accomplished our goals. The next thing you know, NASCAR is reaching out. Fox Sports is reaching out. And they wanted us to do the same thing with Daytona 500. And sure enough, here I am, getting as close as I can to these cars. Doing virtual reality, testing virtual reality for the very first time with NASCAR and Toyota and Fox Sports. And then again, I get a chance to work with the Air Force and filming 360 for them and testing new technologies. And then more with NASCAR, putting cameras on the back of cars and cameras inside the car. Putting together incredible people and teams to try to achieve these objectives. And I want to show you how fast you can get. Let me just show you this real quick. See how fast you can be. And I thought, my goodness, this is a great tool for people and fans to be able to explore. But that was it. I had that aha moment and I said, wait a second. This technology is better than live events in sports. This technology should be used for storytelling. We're able to get fans closer to the action. Why not get audiences inside the movie? So I got a chance to meet with great people like Wesley Snipes and explore storytelling with him. And we put together this project called The Recall. And we shot it in multiple formats, traditional 2D, virtual reality, and augmented reality. And then I got a chance to work with Nick Cage on the Humanity Bureau. And I got a chance to put VR on him for the very first time and sit there with him and explore new ways of storytelling. It was incredible. Having a chance to work with these kind of actors, sitting with them, talking about how to move around in 360 degrees, not just focused on a flat rectangular screen, but a new canvas. And the cameras kept changing. All of a sudden, Google has a new camera called the Google Jump, or they had the Google Jump program, which was based on GoPro cameras. And so I reached out to them and said, wait a second, let me work with you. Let's take a look at your camera system. We have an idea to do this project with Christina Ricci and John Cusack called Distorted. But let's explore more. Let's do spatial and ambisonic audio where we can hear sound in different directions the same way our ears hear. Not binaural, right or left, but spatial. I want to show you another video. Because we had to start creating environments for people to see the content. I had to create my own custom labs, custom environments for them to view all the different media that we created. Feel like you're sitting on a couch in a palace in the mountains to be able to view and engage in the content that we were creating. There were no screens or places to go to watch VR. We had to create our own environment. We had to explore. Make it easy for people to be able to access this content. And then we'd have to build these applications on the platforms and the hardware that we had, like Oculus and Google Daydream, Samsung Gear VR. Whatever we had, put yourself in a chair, because this is a horror movie, and we wanted you to feel like you're really there. So we created this environment for you to pick and choose the content to watch. And there I am with the great team, right? Because it takes a great team. That's the one thing I've learned over the years. It takes an incredible team to explore, to test new technologies. And then there was more. I had another movie, I had another project to work with John Travolta on a project called Speed Kills. And you can see my name at the bottom left. I directed this experience. And I got a chance to really explore more. We made 60 minutes, 8 episodes of virtual reality, as well as the full-length feature film. Testing VR drones like the one on the bottom right. There's a VR camera on the bottom of that drone. Exploring things, working with incredible people, rigging speedboats like the picture in the bottom left, hiding behind walls in the picture in the bottom left. I'm sorry, speedboat bottom right and in the picture on the bottom left. 360 can see everything, so you have to hide as soon as you place your camera. Working with people, unbelievable cinematographers like Andre's in the top left, who's known for Pulp Fiction and a lot of incredible movies. Old school filmmakers that have never explored these new technologies, and working with people like that. And again, we had to find new ways of showcasing content, so we would leverage game engine technology to create worlds for us to watch the content. Customized to the theme of the movie. Here we made a speedboat and put you on a bay in Miami. You had the ability to go into the content. New ways of storytelling, spherical canvases, exploring. And then we had to think about, how do we want people to see it outside of being inside the headset? Location-based entertainment. So we have different exhibits like the one in the bottom right. And I want to show you a quick trailer on some of the stuff here.
The camera looks like an unidentified flying object. I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, it's all the way around lenses.
With VR, everything is, full circle, 360 degrees, and so we really want to take advantage of those sets. It's almost as if they were looking down, looking upon the scene, looking upon the sets and the script that we created just for the VR.
The VR is fascinating just because it's the future, and I haven't really done anything like that before.
We try to catch a moment, so you can catch a feeling. We live for that moment, we live for that feeling. One life, you better own it. Fight for what you believe in. Drive it like you stole it. Say it like you mean it. Come on.
The whole key behind it was to create this virtual reality experience that can help trigger people to go watch the feature.
You're in the wrong place.
You should leave. I like seeing a little bit more body and the interaction between the actors and space. This format lends itself to that greatly.
All I see is flashing lights around.
Shooting VR is similar to shooting a play or performing in a play. You don't have the luxury of cuts and short takes and do-overs.
I'm fascinated by how fast it goes, the speed at which you can do it, because you don't have to do all these setups.
We wanted to have multiple scenes, multiple sets where we had the cameras there.
It's not the filmmaking I'm used to. It's a combination of theater and magic. That's a tech term.
It is kind of sexy.
Enough of that. But I just want you to know the digitalization era is upon us, right? It's here. And you have to explore, okay? We always have to go out there and explore. Like I said, I'm learning things every day, working with great, incredible people. And when I'm exploring and I learn these things, I have to go share it with the world. I have to let everybody know. That's my job. That's my job as a futurist. I have to go to Google and tell them what I think. I have to talk to the Directors Guild of America or CAA. I have to go to Dave & Buster's and play and explore. Fremantle, companies that do American Idol. I had to tell my mom in the bottom left. I have to let people know what's going on. I have to explore and share. And the one thing I learned is change always happens. The evolution of technology never stops. It's always evolving. Like in this picture, this is volumetric capture at Microsoft's facility, leveraging, I believe, 106 cameras. And then I had to go out there and explore more. I wanted to bring this to live sports because then there was new technology, new cameras, and I'll go film at the Fiesta Bowl or different sporting events. Here I am leveraging this technology here. Or again, I'm an alumni of Arizona State, so they reached out and said, you got to come film our bowl game at the Las Vegas Bowl. So I have a chance to, again, work with new cameras, new solutions, new technologies. You can see me in some of these pictures, getting as close to the action as I possibly can, hustling inside the stadium to make sure I am there for every shot, giving fans a more premium way to get closer to the action. And again, we have to keep exploring. You never know what's going to come up.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Projection mapping, another new incredible technology.
That's awesome, Travis. Now walk to the right into it. Go walk into it.
Go up that cycle wall.
There you go.
You got to have fun.
Holy cow.
You got to be able to explore, test new technologies, figure out new ways of storytelling.
All from this crazy magic box.
The magic box holds all the secrets.
Sometimes you get a chance to run across magic boxes like this.
Playing here all day. Oh, yeah. Well.
And then I thought to myself, well, you know what? I got to do more. I got to do another experience. I got to do something that's above and beyond, not traditional 360 video, leveraging older cameras that existed when I created that content, because there was nothing else that I had. We needed to do something above and beyond. Photorealistic content, 6 degrees of freedom, the ability for me to move around forward, backwards, left, right, up and down. Laser perfection of stadiums. And I thought, who am I going to do this with if I'm going to create an experience? Who can I work with? Who's somebody who is well known in the space? Patrick Mahomes, NFL MVP, Super Bowl MVP. And I knew his agent, Lee Steinberg, who's also a part of FIU. He's a part of the iStar team on the iStar board. Very famous sports agent. You remember the movie Jerry Maguire was inspired by him. And there I am signing the deal with him. And then we start building our experience, the Patrick Mahomes MVP experience. We have to think about what platform are we going to use? What's our environment? Our environment's Arrowhead Stadium, which has the Guinness World Record for the loudest stadium. Well, that's incredible. That makes the audio component even better. How can we bring sponsors into the experience? Branding in the experience, branding inside the experience. It's an entirely separate revenue stream. Activations, exclusive releases on platforms, sponsorship opportunities. So we team up with Sony. I get Sony involved. They're excited. We go to Sony, we jump in, and we start using some of the latest, greatest scanning and volumetric capture technology. Here I am with Patrick and the team, wearing my Om shirt from India, creating new ways for volumetric augmented reality holograms, pop-up brand integration, getting written about in great publications like Forbes, talking about new ways where extended reality can bring fans closer to the game. I'll show you a quick.
I'm coming in hot.
The MVP experience is a virtual reality simulation
with Patrick Mahomes as your personal coach.
Hi, I'm Patrick Mahomes, and I want you to experience what it's like to be an NFL quarterback.
So the idea is that you are in Arrowhead Stadium. Patrick walks you through a play, and you throw the ball, and hopefully, it's a complete pass, and you get a touchdown.
So you get a chance to feel what it's like to be Patrick Mahomes, but when it matters the most and the crowd is going crazy.
Literally stepping into his shoes.
57, call it 36. No, Mike 43, call 57.
The experience starts off at Arrowhead Stadium with Patrick walking you through a play. breaking it down, explaining what the routes are.
He's running up the field and then cutting.
It's almost like physically being inside of Arrowhead Stadium, a stadium that already has the Guinness World Record.
The roar of that decibel record-breaking audience in Kansas City.
Every step of the way, our focus has been reality. Real Patrick, real football, real stadium.
Not the video game version.
This is exactly what it looks like. Oh my gosh, it's like I was there all over again.
We designed and built from the ground up a unique camera system to capture volumetric characters.
This type of volumetric capture cinematography was just science fiction a few years ago.
This experience is going to be very challenging.
Not everybody's going to be able to throw a touchdown. I'll just be honest about it.
Because when you try to do it, it's hard.
We want this to be as challenging as it would be on the field in a real game scenario.
You know, a lot of people can think that they can just step into a professional football game and play.
Patrick really wanted us to highlight the speed of an NFL play. He has to make all these decisions in a matter of seconds or split seconds.
To actually pick up a football and touch it and feel it and grab it in a setting when the crowd is going crazy and the defense is coming at you and throw it, that's something that's never been done. Right? And then you know what? I thought there had to be other things that we could do, more impactful, right? And again, all things led back to India. And here's a chance I get to scan volumetric capture somebody who's doing an initiative on a global level and working with incredible historical producers like the gentleman on the right, Ken Cragen, who's from Hands Around the World or We Are the World, right? And creating volumetric capture assets like below and bringing them into any environment. And I'll show you a quick example.
Imagine having 1 billion people holding hands across the world in an augmented reality selfie chain with the coolest hologram technology on the planet. And even better, all in support of climate change.
Hi, I'm Ken Cragen, and I created We Are the World and Hands Across America. And now I'm involved in the biggest and most important project of my life or anyone's, and that's to fight climate change. Come join us with Hands Around the World.
Right? Amazing. Using this technology for the good, not just for a fan experience, for a football team or football players, but something bigger, something better. Working with incredible motivational speakers like my friend Nick and Jen Bricker here. Nick was born with no arms and no legs. Same with Jen, she was born with no legs. Inspirational, motivational speakers. It's hard for them to go all over the world and talk to as many people as possible. But with volumetric capture, you have the ability to scan from head to toe or from top to bottom a full 3D model of those individuals and distribute them anywhere. You can leverage your mobile phone and just scan them and display them, a projected hologram in your home environment. And get great people.
Hi, I'm
involved.
Fred Dreyer. Many of you know me from the Hunter television show and the National Football.
Right? And right now, where do we stand? We have to explore this, as this is an incredible time in history, right? I've made that very clear. You have platforms and technologies that are expanding and evolving every day. You have to still understand your purpose. Who's your audience? Who's the experience for? What are you trying to achieve? What do you want your audience to feel? It's all about the user experience. And there are many technologies out there, many different amazing solutions for each and every use case. What is your goal and what is your objective? There are solutions and platforms to use at your advantage, and don't be afraid to explore them because we are all the same. We're all still learning. Like I said, I'm exploring every day, and it's amazing what I don't know. I'm amazed each and every day with what I learn because there's incredible solutions that exist. And like I said, I'm amazed every single day, whether it's volumetric capture holograms over here, you know, where he's punching Baker Mayfield, or a company called Portal, which does hologram technology, or all the amazing stuff we're doing at FIU, scanning logos and displaying 3D assets. And I'm still going back to India and working with incredible people every single year, every single year. I was there in December before the pandemic. Miss it already. But I'm exploring with great, amazing people at FIU. like I said, inspires me every day. Provost, the president, the deans, my partner, Lee Kaplan, my other partner, Mark Rosler, very famous attorney. And it puts me in incredible circles. I get to hang with incredible people because I'm exploring. Like on the right, there's the dean and the owner of the Dolphins. Or in the bottom middle, the owner of the Raiders, Mark Davis. Or on the left, the guy next to me is the executive vice president of the World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers, Lon Rosen. Or the most powerful woman in all of sports, okay, Jeannie Buss, sitting courtside at the game. I get a chance to work with her, I get a chance to work with these great people. Or Mark Rosler, very historical attorney, who's been managing a famous celebrity estates like James Dean, Jackie Robinson, Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou. I get a chance to hang with incredible people because of the exploring. I get a chance to speak at incredible events like Comic-Con this past year, where I spoke as an avatar. I'm exploring, testing new technologies like Loom AI that allows for you to have customized avatars to display on flat passive screens like this. But like I said, they've since been acquired by Roblox. And again, you have to explore and create because crisis creates breakthrough. And everything that I've done becomes older every single day because the technology evolves. And in order to make tech work for you, you have to be aware of the past and the present. You have an evolution of tech hardware and software. But it becomes so simple when you break it down into these 4 moments in time. The launch of PC, web, mobile, and now XR. This is an incredible moment in history. The 4th wave of consumer technology. And then there's quotes I've been written about in Forbes. With 5G, we are entering a new wave of consumer technology, and the old school means of storytelling are advancing. Utilizing new school game engine software allows for more interactive engagement. These experiences can be distributed through mobile or wearable hardware into school systems or even your living room. And this is probably the most important slide I've showed you today. Game engine technologies like Unity and Unreal, it's incredible. Everything I've shown you, everything I've done, I've had to use Unity or Unreal. Those are the engines for which we utilize to create the next evolution of XR. Some of the future billion-dollar corporations that we don't even know about today are currently being built on these game engines. And I'm using them to create digital humans like this with James Dean, or working with very famous historical families like I am with the Malcolm X estate and Neil Armstrong and Maya Angelou and Joe Louis and Jackie Robinson and James Dean. This is the next evolution of storytelling. It's like books or documentaries or movies. These are just new ways of exploring their relevance, the impact that they had on this earth. And there's other companies that are doing deep fake and other companies that are testing new technologies, but we want to do this for the good, work directly with the families, making sure that if anybody tries to deep fake their likeness, we can cut it off at the root. And there's different solutions, face mapping, things like this, sculpting, creating layers, and voice synthesis, like this, making sure we can apply the voice to the digital assets. And hand movement, motion tracking, bone density. There's incredible people I work with that build these type of tools and these type of technologies. They're all over. This is with the guys from Replica. And you have to understand how the body moves to be able to create digital assets. You can't just create it out of scratch. You have to understand how the body moves. You have to understand how the face moves. Full 3D models and characters. that can walk and talk and move the same way we walk and talk and move. And there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of incredible people and artists and designers and engineers that work on these things. It's just not me. You have to surround yourself and explore with passionate people that love the same type of technology or the same things that you love. Because long ago, we flipped through the yellow pages looking for info. And today we don't need to type in keywords or key phrases into Google search. We have voice recognition that provides us those results. We have simple apps like Google that can allow us to scan image recognition just by pointing our cameras at those objects. And there's a reason for all this voice and image recognition capture. This wave is coming and it's a part of XR, so you better be ready. But how can we innovate if we're not aware? How can we think big and build for the future if we don't know the tools that we have today? So now is your chance to rewrite the story and rewrite the way content is experienced. The fourth wave of consumer technology is here. And through XR hardware, we can access the spatial realm. We can access digital worlds or the metaverse. But what about big tech? What are they doing? What are companies like Alphabet, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple? And there's a lot more. What's happening in the industry? Where are we at with HMD hardware, head mount display? We all remember Google Cardboard. And then Google had the Daydream solution. I worked with them during that time. And that got shut down. But they'll be back. And then you have other companies like Magic Leap, who have mixed reality spatial computing glasses, or Unreal or Qualcomm, or Vuzix, which they have the Blade and the M series on the bottom. I love Vuzix because they have many different headsets for different use cases. And I'm so excited about the smart glasses that are pictured in the top left. Those aren't out yet. But the supercomputing is in the side of them. It's essentially wearing a computer, a smart computer. But those look cool. Those don't look like the big block, clunky hardware. And then you got companies like HP, who's building really incredible tech, and Lenovo and Samsung and HTC with the Vive and the Focus. And now the bottom, they're entering the mixed reality space. And they're also doing hand tracking and body tracking and face tracking. And then you have Microsoft, and they had the Microsoft HoloLens. Now they have the Microsoft HoloLens 2. They're evolving. And then we all know Facebook. You had the Gear VR, the Rift, the Go, the Quest 1, the Quest 2, and now you've got another device coming out. And Mark Zuckerberg's talking about it, the future of VR and AR. What are they going to do? Where are they spending their hundreds of millions of dollars? That's the thing I just get so excited about, because it's not my opinion. I'm following what all the biggest companies in the world are spending hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars on, truthfully. And you got companies like Facebook partnering with Ray-Ban and the Arias, and Apple that's doing incredible stuff with patents. And we all can't wait for what Apple's going to be able to do. And these are what some think their glasses are going to look like. But they won't come out until next year. And then you got companies like Tencent, and again, what Alphabet and Google is going to achieve. Then you go back to the trends, and we covered a lot of these trends, so I don't need to get into them again, but all these trends apply to XR technology. Artificial intelligence, BCI, spatial and quantum computing, UI, UX, heads-up tech, right? And then you got the ability to do live face scanning. Here I am in front of a computer and having Bruce Lee's face projected on my face, right? And we're testing, we're exploring.
It's 2D, it's actually 3D, right?
Incredible companies and incredible people are building tools like this.
This is really just to demonstrate what can you do in real time and with just one picture.
Audrey Hepburn and Tupac I can get into. And then you got future XR trends like virtual worlds, holoportation, which is what Microsoft Mesh is doing. Again, hand tracking, face tracking, body tracking, and again, the metaverse. What is the metaverse? A virtual reality or real world space in which users can interact with computer-generated environments and other users. And that term is still changing. And then you have things like Fortnite, where they had a metaverse. And you remember Travis Scott's performance earlier in the pandemic. He created this digital avatar that performed a concert in a metaverse called Fortnite, and he made $20 million in one night, while people all over the world entered the metaverse to watch him perform. He made $20 million. that one night. Fortnite is a metaverse built on Unreal Engine, owned by Epic Games. And then you have companies like Roblox that just went public a couple days ago. I'm not a stockbroker, but I've bought some shares. It's another realm, it's another metaverse. And then you have Minecraft, another metaverse, it's owned by Microsoft. And you have Facebook Horizon, another metaverse, and Spatial. And you've got these content creation tools. And again, very basic advice, but become familiar with Unity and Unreal Engine. These game-changing technologies are changing the way we explore virtual worlds. And I'm going to throw that screen up again so you understand how serious I am in regards to game engine platforms. And I use it to test different technology. Like I did this quick test for a coronavirus augmented reality display. A new way of presenting assets overlapped in front of me.
The virus was first reported in Wuhan.
Now nobody saw this. This is just me testing.
In December 2019.
Trying things for the first time. And then you have the ability to do full life-size demos of homes, scaled to the size of the actual home, where you can just take your phone, no hardware, just your phone, and move in and out of different environments. And I want to show you some of the other stuff. Sugar Ray Leonard, right? Let me just show you this one over here. Hello, my name is Travis Cloyd. I'm the future. I'll show you the Sugar Ray. See, this is a 3D version of Sugar Ray Leonard, volumetrically captured, being able to distribute him anywhere. Real-time activations, where you feel like you've got him just standing there in front of you. You have the ability to move around him. Okay? Or stuff that I'm testing with FIU. International University. This is where legends can come create new immersive content using volumetric capture. Here I have projected myself, a hologram of myself in 3D. And projected in real time. I can distribute this to anybody, anywhere. I encourage all of you, and you can use it for fun activations like this, to use this education. You can use it for a lot of things.
Amazing.
Here's a really cool use case. That's right. You can get in the frame and you can dance with our mascot. Glory to Panther. You can zoom in, you can make them bigger, you can make them smaller, you could do a lot of different things with this type of technology. So I want to end with these things. Listen and explore, right? And here's some of the leading voices that I think. Kathy Hackle, an FIU alumni, one of the top futurists in the world, works at Forbes, writes for Forbes. Okay, Charlie Fink, another futurist on the bottom there. Again, another member who's on the iStar board. Dean Takahashi, another incredible futurist and journalist for VentureBeat. Look these people up, read, explore what they're talking about. Unbelievable educational forums. And there's incredible stuff that we're doing at FIU with the Immersive Studio for Altered Reality. Come work with us on exploring these technologies, a part of CARTA. Because you have the chance to work with great, incredible people.
We're very excited to be working with FIU because they're so far advanced in terms of their plans on what XR means for the university.
One of the things we're doing with iStar, the Immersive Studio for Altered Reality, for us to engage on our mobile devices or even in wearable technology using augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality.
So I think it can put it in the cutting edge of where technology is going tomorrow. And I think that it expands people's vision in a way where you're training a whole group of students to be the pioneers for tomorrow.
From my perspective, the students are going to benefit most from iStar because there's very little training so far in this field. It's a brand new field. It's one of the fastest growing fields, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
So I want to end with this. Before you jump in, my objective is not to overwhelm you guys. My objective is to let you know what's around the corner and where some of the biggest companies in the world are spending billions of dollars. A race to eliminate screens, maybe. Why should we live a life with our heads in every screen? Heads down tech? That's not the way to live life. We need both of our hands to be free. We need to be able to have real-time information that will improve our life while we're living it. Heads up technology, spatial computing, and that day will come soon. So until then, keep exploring. Thank you guys very much.
Excellent, excellent, Travis. Very happy. I mean, once again, it was an honor and a privilege to have you here. I can personally, professionally, I cannot wait until I incorporate some VR experiences into my classes. I mean, I was thinking about even a tour, a trip through the Wall Street and the financial markets. When teaching international trade, being at the port of Miami, for example, and showing them, you know, the cargo that comes and goes, and then also potentially an experience with the Federal Reserve Board, where we look at the monetary policy and working together with or interacting with some of the personalities in the financial markets. It's amazing, awesome. I want to thank you, and I will give you a couple of minutes to say goodbye to our audience, but let me thank you, and let me also thank our team here, Mrs. Melissa Maldonado, Danai Barata, Sherima Smith. Without them, this could not be possible. I want to ask everybody on the audience to please complete the survey. Please, we need your feedback. Also, let me recognize Mrs. Catalina Rodriguez from RECLA, the Professional Continuing Education Association in Latin America. She's present today. All the students from Peru, from the Pontificia Universidad Católica de Peru, a shout out to you. And also we have Commissioner Willie Gord from the city of Miami. Willie, it's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much, Travis. Let me remind you that on Thursday, March 25th, we have monitoring. We have a webinar in Spanish. It's Mentoring para Ser Mentor. And we have a speaker, Marca Mundial. Will be presented by Sonia Gonzalez Boysen. And this webinar will be in Spanish. With that said, I will give you, a few seconds for you to say goodbye to our audience, Travis.
Well, thank you very much. And again, thank you to your incredible team, and thank you to all the listeners that we have today. Again, I appreciate you spending your lunch with me, and hopefully you're able to learn something. But I just want to say thank you very much, and keep exploring, everybody. And if you need anything, please reach out to me. I love to explore new technologies, new ideas, and I make myself available for great people who are looking at trying to achieve these goals. So again, thank you all very much, and to the FIU Continued Education team. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Travis. We look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks in the next webinar. Thank you for joining us. Be well and safe. Thank you.
Thank you.